I worry, I went 3 times my body. I worry, I throw my fear around.
The way I chose to make this record was kind of in 3-song groups. So I would write 3 songs, get them to a place where I felt they'd be strong enough to kind of debut in the studio to work on, and then come home and be done. So the record, for me, is really cool because it doesn't have any moments of burnout. I don't remember being in the studio and banging my head against the wall. Well, I do, but not until the very end. You're supposed to do that at the end. But for the most part, it was just an incredibly joyous thing where you'd make 3 songs and then go home and not play music for a little while. I've finally gotten the music harmonically correct to play guitar over. Some of the songs that I've had out before have not really lent themselves to playing lead guitar on them or expressing myself as a soloist on them. It would be strange to hear like Why Georgia or No Such Thing or Wonderland with any of those songs with guitar on them.
And I will wait to find if this will last forever. And I will wait to find and I won't, yeah.
I'd like to do a John Mayer Trio studio album. There's so much music there to be had. We never really had that much time to compose. It was kind of a hit the ground running type thing, so I'd like to have a couple months in the studio to compose. I think it'd be really, really interesting to have a band form itself on a live record and then put a studio record out. Would be pretty cool. Trio for me was such the inverse of the pop thing, which is that was all guitar. I was hurting for a sing-along at the end of that tour because there was so much guitar playing, you know, and so much just like burning off of energy just as a player, as a singer. To be up in the front of a trio where if I stop singing and stop playing guitar, it's just bass and drums going, albeit it's incredible bass playing and drumming, but basically the trio slammed the needle all the way to the right and on the guitar side of the spectrum. And then from there I was able to tip the needle back. Instead of pushing it forward, I was able to bring it back, which is actually a really cool thing to do, to scale back to where you want to be. So that's how I knew that I was ready to finish the record. You know, I'd experienced myself as a songwriter and experienced myself as the childhood fantasy of being a lead guitar player in a band. And who I really am, or what comes most naturally to me, is somewhere in the middle. And Continuum is the dialing in of that, you know.
Some of us, we're hardly ever here. The rest of us, we're born to disappear.
Shut Up and Play is a really good bumper sticker for my head when I'm on stage at this point. There's nothing I can say in between the songs. I mean, I see that as kind of like my early years kind of phase of do a song, become so self-conscious that you're on stage in front of people that you have to somehow goof a little bit. Now I just feel like with 3 records out, or 4 or 5 records, however you want to define what a record of mine is, I'm sure that nobody's there to hear me talk. Everything on this record is one impulse. It's my impulse. It's not my impulse mixed with someone else's expectation based on what they listen to in the car on the way to the studio. This is all in-house. This is like sewn, cut, you know, modeled, sold, stamped in one place, you know, and I think you can feel that when you listen to the record. There's no push or pull anywhere where you can hear anybody else put their thing on it.
I
The road is a funny concept. I don't think anybody, like, well, I can't say that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who like love the road, but they're weird. They've like, you know, they've been married 6 times. So like, they have people like, they're in their 40s, like, I love the road. I don't know what you're talking about. They got no friends and family. I've been through 8 managers. They crash a car every couple months. I don't think I naturally have it in me, like I have to go play for people. But when I finish with the record, I end up in that same place. But it's by way of saying, wow, this stuff is really exciting to me, and I want everybody to hear it. So I'm not out there because I love getting on a bus every morning. I'm out there because I want everybody to hear it. Maybe I just haven't been on stage in a while, and that's why I'm devaluing it. I'm so domestic right now. I could never tour. If I could go on tour grilling steaks for people on stage, then I would really get into that, because I love grilling right now. If I could just grill at Jones Beach for 20,000 people.
No, it won't all go the way it should, but I know the heart of life is good.
If any of my heroes had thought less of me than I wanted them to, I would have been devastated. I would have gone insane, you know? I mean, people like Buddy and BB and Eric and those guys, I mean, the fact that they've not so much supported what I've done, but support the idea of where I'm going, it's invaluable to me. And I was really scared to meet all those guys, because imagine your heroes being like, the Merritt Kitty just rubs me wrong. Just kind of rubs me wrong. That would be a crushing blow to me in every way. So it's been really amazing to think of what I do, just in terms of being a contemporary or a peer. I mean, just to think of myself as living in the same city block musically as those guys is pretty unbelievable. You know, as soon as I really started playing music with Buddy Guy and I've done some stuff with B.B. King and all those guys, I instantly took myself more seriously, because it's not just about me anymore, you know? When those guys told me, you're carrying this thing on, you got to keep running with this, I got a lot less, I guess I want to say I got a lot more mature about the music I was making. It was a little less hokey, and it instantly became like, wow, these guys are watching now. I'm on the radar, and I might have, you know, I might have my hand on a part of a baton. Let's shape up. Let's shape up and behave ourselves, you know?
Me and all my friends, we're all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing and there's no way we ever could.
The thing about blues and soul music is that you either have the heart for it or you don't. And everybody does. It's just a matter of what kind of blues and soul music. I can't break down what it is about R&B, pretty much. We're talking about rhythm and blues. I can't break down any further than it just moves me. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you it's this beat or this singer. I just kind of feel like, and this is going to sound really kind of artsy-fartsy, but whatever wavelength that music is on is kind of the closest tied wavelength to the human heart. For me, for my money, Ray Charles singing, it's so much in with the dirt and the earth and where we came from and where we're trying to get to. And that's not to disparage any other kind of music, but for me, when I hear that, and the best things in life are images you see and you don't know why you love it, but you do, you know? I love blue. I love things that glow blue. I don't know why, but I stand there like a cat looking out a picture window just staring at it. And I like that. I like that I can't explain it. I like that when I hear Sam Cooke or Ray Charles or B.B. King or any of these guys, I just feel like I'm connecting with something almost kind of like past life in a way. Things you remember doing but don't remember doing, or things that you remember feeling but don't, you know? This interesting deja vu-like thing when you listen to great soul music. I mean, when I listen to Sam Cooke singing Change Is Gonna Come, I know more about the 60s than I would from a textbook, because I hear the spirit of a person singing about something that hurts. And it's just a spiritual connection I can't explain.
That's why we're waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting on the world to change.
I want this record to last. This is about making a record that's good today and good a long time from now. That maybe 10 years from now you can go back to and you can revisit like, wow, I can remember when I was 10 years younger listening to this, but this still works now. That's the difference between rhythm and blues and pop music. Pop music is kind of like a weekly magazine, and rhythm and blues is like National Geographic. It's always going to be good. A Ray Charles song is as important today as it was 30 years ago, maybe even more important. And pop music seems to age differently. Pop music is more of a time capsule. For me, R&B works anytime. Have you ever heard this sentence? Will someone turn that Ray Charles off? You don't hear that. You don't hear that. Oh, enough with the Ray Charles. You know what I mean?
We keep on waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change.
All right. This is a good band. This is a good band. I'm telling you. This is a good band. Like, look at this. With a crazy flair for wardrobe. Just one of the most... I should just get everybody black suits. Just give me your sizes.